everyone, it's Gillian and I am so excited for you to see today's slime makeover because it is my new favorite slime makeover that I have created. I am so obsessed with the end slime and I cannot wait to show you the process of how I created it. Oh my gosh, I love it so much and I'm so happy that I decided to do it. So I'm going to be giving a couple of these slimes here a makeover. So these are slimes that I actually made from either, I think there's a few rainbow slime mixes here and there's that old cheese slime. So I really want these containers back. So instead of just throwing out the slimes, I'm going to give a couple of them a makeover. So today's slime is actually inspired by this slime charm right here. I love rainbow layered cakes and at the moment I feel like I'm just obsessed with rainbow slime, so I definitely wanted to give this rainbow layered cake slime a go. So the first slime I'm going to be giving a makeover is this one here, and this slime was originally a rainbow, but once I mixed it, it became this icky gray, brown, green color like all rainbow slimes do. Again, I'm so sad that rainbow slime doesn't end up a pretty color, but as you can see, it's very thick still. So this I think was a butter slime and it's still quite activated. So the first thing I decided to do was just mix it all back together because a few of the colors had started to separate. Now, to work with this slime, I really needed it to be as deactivated as possible, so I went in with a bit of glycerin and started mixing this in, and as you can see, the glycerin slowly starts to melt the slime or deactivate the slime, and this just makes it so much easier to add all of my new ingredients and to mix them in, other than folding them into an activated slime, which always gets super messy. So this is my favorite method. I decided to go in with a bit of lotion to start off with because I didn't really want the end texture of this slime to be a butter slime. I definitely wanted it to be a softer, glossier slime, so that's why I'm now also adding some baby oil and mixing this all together. As you can see, the slime is honestly the strangest color and I wasn't sure how I was going to fix it, but first I also added some conditioner to thicken it up a little bit, and also all these ingredients were lightening the color of the slime, but I needed a little bit of a boost, so I added some white food coloring and I added quite a bit of this just to lighten it up as much as possible. At the moment it's kind of like an olivey green, brown, gray shade. I had no idea how I was going to color this, honestly. It was making me very nervous, but I decided to scent it a buttercream vanilla because this is going to be a cake inspired slime and I love this scent so much. It's so yummy. I then took 4 separate glass bowls and divided the slime mixture as evenly as possible, and here I'm going to be creating 4 different colors of my rainbow layer cake. So I went with 4 colors that I thought I would be able to transform this gray brown color into. So first was blue, and first of all it went a really dull gray blue. So basically I just tried to brighten it up a bit and I really struggled with coloring these slimes. It probably took me over half an hour. I kept adding all these different colors and trying to cancel out the gray, then it would go to green or it would go to red. This was so difficult, especially the green here. It went like an army green, so I tried to bring it back and then it went like a forest green. I really struggled, but the worst was the orange. The orange just ended up a terracotta color and nothing would fix it, so I decided to just go with the terracotta color. I did think about just completely scratching the orange and not using it, but I thought it would look okay once all the colors were layered together. So here I am just reactivating these 4 slimes. So now I've got the 4 different colors from this slime, and honestly these colors are not ideal. I basically just did the best that I could. Again, the base color was a really odd gray, brown, a little bit green, so it was really hard to work with, but I think I did an okay job. And then once I had reactivated the slimes, they ended up being super clicky and had great bubble pops and weren't really a butter slime anymore, which was perfect. It was exactly what I was going for. now that we have 4 colors for our rainbow layer cake, we need 2 more. So I decided to take this slime right here, and this slime is very new actually. It's from my rainbow slime video that I just uploaded. This is the thick glossy pastel rainbow slime. As you can see, it was so pastel that basically I just have an off-white slime here. Now it was a little bit tough because it was slightly overactivated in that video, just so that the colors wouldn't completely melt into each other. And also it was a really cold slime. I had the air conditioning going really high in this room, so I just deactivated it just a little bit. Then I went in with some buttercream vanilla scent so that it would match the other layers of my cake, and I mixed this in, and I did this with my hands, which I haven't done before, and it was kind of odd, and now my hands smell like vanilla, but that's okay. Then I separated this slime right down the middle as evenly as possible. Oh, I just lost my words. And then I decided to tint one side yellow. Now because it wasn't off-white, it went more of a mustard, but at this point I was just kind of going with it. And then to the other side, I decided to tint this a bright pink, and this one actually ended up the prettiest, and honestly this one was the only slime that ended up the color that I intended it to be. So now that my slimes had had their complete makeover and were ready to go, it was time to move on to the other parts of my rainbow layer cake. Now I really wanted the layers to stay as separated as possible, and I knew that if I just layered these slimes on top of each other that they would melt into each other and we would lose that layered effect that makes rainbow cakes look so cool. So what I decided to do was to cut out a piece of Model Magic and place this between each layer of the cake. So it was basically going to act as my buttercream icing between each cake layer. So I just used my cake mold that I was going to be using for the actual slime to make sure that I was getting perfect circles that would fit so snug. And I also used quite a bit of cornstarch on my rolling pin and on the paper and even on my cake holder. Oh my gosh, what's it called? A cake container? Just so nothing would stick. Now, moving on, I really wanted this slime to have a bit of a fun trim around the top. So I decided to take some Model Magic, which I had colored using food coloring, and make a rainbow, as you can see here. And then again, like I did in my previous video where I made my rainbow lollipop, because I was so obsessed with that, I decided to recreate that, but to make a thicker one. As you can see here, this is quite thick, and to place this around the top of my cake. So I just started twisting it super slowly. I make sure to do this slowly so I don't twist it too much and stretch it too much or anything, but it's such a fun process. And here I'm rolling it out to make sure that everything is super nice and blended, and I'm also making it a bit skinnier because it was a little bit chunky. So now it's time to assemble my cake, and this definitely was a process. I was so nervous going into this. It had all led up to this point. So as you can see, I'm just layering the Model Magic, and then I would do a slime color, then a layer of Model Magic, slime, Model Magic, slime. You get the idea, until I got to the top of the cake. This definitely was quite a process, and as you can see, oh my gosh, this slime, if I'm being honest, this took me 3.5 hours to make, but it was totally worth it. I love the process of creating really over the top slimes like this. I enjoyed it, and honestly the end result was totally worth it, and I love seeing the vision in my head come to life. But definitely this slime took a long time to make, and it all came down to this part. Everything had been leading up to the assembly of the cake. So here I'm placing the top on, and as you can see, it fits so perfectly. Now to stick my rainbow rope around the top, I just took a little bit of water first and went around the outside so that my clay would stick to the clay, I guess. And then I just broke off the rest and tried to blend it as well as I could. As you can see, here is my circle rainbow rope, looking very cute. I then went in with some colorful sprinkles, and then first of all, I thought I would place a cherry in the middle because you know how cakes have cherries. And then I just went around with some more decorative pieces, and then I was like, I don't actually like the cherry, and I have these super realistic looking strawberry charms, so I placed one of these in the middle, and I felt like it looked so much better. So I just went in with the rest of my little slime charms to finish it all off. And here is the rainbow cake. So here we have the slime beforehand. As you can see, I don't know what this is. It kind of looks like a spider's web here, but definitely not a fun slime, and I'm so excited because this is the end result. Definitely worth my 3.5 hours worth of slime making over. It was so beautiful. I love that you can see every different color just popping through. I love that all the layers were so defined, and it was definitely tricky, but so worth it. And honestly, this is definitely my favorite slime makeover ever, and definitely the hardest slime to destroy and mix together, but it had to be done. I had to ruin it, but I did appreciate it whilst it looked like this. But now let's destroy it, shall we? And this did break my heart a little bit, but it just means that I get to, I guess, make another rainbow cake in the future. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of this extreme slime makeover. Like I said, it's my new favorite, and honestly, I could not be happier with the end result, and I would love to know what you thought of the end result, and if you liked my rainbow cake. Thank you all so much for watching. I love you all so much, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!